Welcome to this customer interview. Today I have my client here, Brett. Brett, how are you doing today, buddy?
Very well, Dickie.
Wonderful, wonderful. So Brett has been with us for how long? 3 months, I believe, somewhere around that, 4
Coming
months.
up on 3 months, yes.
Okay, cool, awesome. So coming up on the third, fourth month, somewhere around that. I guess before working with me, like what were you doing to, I guess, to get leads and to get I guess IUL leads to be specific, right?
To get IUL leads to be specific, we were just using two resources. We were either using a mortgage protection lead and then just asking some additional questions to uncover who would be an ideal client for an IUL or a potential annuity. And then, I personally dabbled with another company that was generating leads via Facebook and then uploading them into a CRM and then calling through them and that sort of type of thing.
Okay, what kind of caused you to work with us in the first place then?
That last company that I was with lowered the quantity of leads, but still kept the price the same. And so it just didn't make sense if I wasn't getting the same kind of lead flow, but you're going to keep the price the same. And then just, the power of artificial intelligence, I started having conversations earlier that afternoon with one of my counterparts. 5-6 hours later, I'm scrolling through Facebook and your ad popped up. And I was like, now, what are the odds of that?
So I guess after, I don't know, the second, the third month, what would you say kind of like your no bullshit 90 days experience with us? Like what's kind of like in your, just say whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I mean, in the insurance industry, working leads is perishable fruit. And so, especially when somebody has decided to watch a quick video, gain interest, let them know, they let us know what their investment strategies are, what they like best about hearing about tax-free retirement, when's a good time to call them, phone number, email address, all that different, bullet points of information that they provide to us. And when that lead comes in, if I have my headset on and I'm in the middle of making calls, the very next call that I'm making when I'm off my call is to that lead, right? Because you're going to get the greatest rate of response, and that response is going to turn into a qualified conversation. It's very rare that I have conversations ever through these leads where it's not worth my time. There's always something that I can uncover, that I can figure out, whether it's an IUL opportunity, maybe it's even just a straight up life insurance opportunity, or something a little bit larger, like an annuity opportunity, or like we're doing right now for a client that we uncovered about $4.9 million in assets. And those assets will also potentially turn into us managing his entire portfolio, actually having a conversation with him in a few hours about that. So lots of different types of opportunities that can come out of it.
Right. And, I get prospects who ask me this all the time, and I guess the answer depends on their experience level. Someone asks, hey, what could I expect out of these leads every single month? Like, could I expect I don't know, 1 case close, 2 case close, 3 case close, premium size of 3,000, 4,000, 5,000? Like, do you have kind of like a average? And I know it's hard to say depending on different location, depending on how you handle the leads, right? But do you have kind of like a number or like a amount in mind, or kind of like an average? What do you see this doing for your business on a monthly level?
Yeah, it's a great question. It really is going to depend on the experience, the level of posture, and the confidence and understanding, and how to deliver the message that you want your client to hear during that first 10-minute telephone call, right? Because they're sizing you up. And look, the fact is that most people, they know a little bit about what's going on in their retirement. It's very rare you're going to meet someone who knows everything that you know. And so you are the expert. And so I really believe that that based on your level of experience and conversation and how you convert someone over to a screen share on Zoom, my average AP on an IUL is averaging right now right between $500 to $800 a month. That's my average. Now, do I get some that are $300 a month? I have. Do I have some that are $1,500 and $2,000 a month? I'm getting those as well. But that seems to be my average. Now, that average is up from where it was a year or even 2 years ago, for that matter. Because 2 years ago, maybe the average AP was 200 or 250. So the averages
Yeah.
are up, but the level of experience is different. And so that is something that you can expect. And then also understand that not everyone is going to be an IUL opportunity, maybe based on medical history or just something that they, yeah, they might say that their health is good or moderate when they're filling out the form. But then you get them on the telephone or you convert them over to a Zoom, and you come to
Mm,
find out, that there was just some hidden things, some medical things or prescription history or whatever it might be, that just
mm,
caused that individual to may not be eligible for an IUL from a medical standpoint, but they're sitting on $500,000 in an old 401k at the job that they worked at, for 20 years, or whatever the case may be. Some people, have a lot of money, non-qualified money, sitting in a savings and checking account, not, maybe in a money market earning 1%, and you can maybe find them something that's a little bit greater than.
so I guess in summary, it really depends on the agents, the sale. I mean, the experience of the agent, so that with your AP, you could see that increasing every single year. Whereas for someone who's starting out, you may not have the knowledge, have the experience to help people with with whatever they need in terms of an IUL or a newbie, things like that.
Yeah, I definitely think that a good amount, a fair amount, let me say a fair amount of understanding of the components of how these products work. But really it comes down to your ability to listen to what other people are telling you about their
Mm.
current situation, so that you can provide a solution to their problem.
And that's where kind of like the experience comes into play.
That's where the experience comes from, just dealing with people over and over again over the last, 9 years.
If there was, I guess, for anyone who's kind of like on the fence about the program, who's kind of like been in that process as well, who's kind of like spoke to me, but he's like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna work. Like, I mean, you're like that before joining the program as well. What what would you say to yourself or to other prospects who's okay, like, is this a scam, or like, who's kind of like on the fence? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I would never define anything that we do in the life insurance industry, as long as there's integrity and character behind it. Nothing's a scam. I think people are scared to take risks because they're broke, and broke people are scared to take risks. I've never really had a problem cutting a check and trying things, and there's been a lot of things that I've tried that have not worked. I've tried for several years looking for specific IUL leads. And so when I found this, very similar to something that I've looked at in the past, and so I had no problem writing that
Mm,
check. If it's going to be, it's up to me. And so, there's other ways to do this business. There is not one single way to do this business. There's definitely other ways to do it. You can spend a lot more money on a weekly, monthly, and quarterly basis on mortgage leads or final expense leads or your Medicare leads or whatever your leads that you're running, to try to uncover those assets
mm,
through the relationship. But that to me was just the stepping stone to prepare me, so that when I got with this type of lead process, this type of lead portal, again, you're just on. Like, you just always have to be ready and prepared, because you're only getting
mm.
one shot at that first conversation. You're getting a second shot when you convert them over to Zoom and you have that face to face. So you're only getting two shots here. So you better be good at what you're doing.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Awesome, man. Well, I'm glad that you're good at what you're doing and you have the experience necessary to close the leads, buddy.
Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you for the interview today, and I hope you have a great one.